Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday Loving Kindness Meditation. My name is Alex. Wonderful to be here with you this evening. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hope you have a joyous time in your celebration. All right. So, I literally just got here like 2 minutes ago. I cut it close, but I'm feeling good. And we're going to do a meditation. We're going to have a little introduction, have this meditation, and then, afterwards, questions about Buddhism, questions about the meditation, questions about loving kindness. All of those are welcome. So think about something and you can kind of enter it in the chat box. But before you do that, of course, as you know, I always like it when people say hello. I am saying hello to you right now, and in the chat box, if you could especially if you're new, please let me know and where you're from. And it would be wonderful to hear from you. It helps me be engaged and stay engaged and feel engaged. So say hi. All right. Okay. Deep breath. So, Travis, did anyone say hello?
Yes. Johnny said, hello, happy holidays.
Johnny, hi, Johnny. Hello and happy holidays to you. Hope you and your family are doing well. I was thinking about, and I keep on harping on that. It's like a broken record. But, please this holiday, stay as safe as you can. The COVID rate is skyrocketing in California, like 60,000, 62,000, I think, was a couple days ago. Looking to be that way today as well. That's a lot of cases. And if you saw the pictures in the airports, like today and yesterday, ton of people. So please be safe. Yes, please be safe. Please be safe. I think about that a lot. All right, what I think I'm going to do is, and I haven't done this in a long time, is, I would like to read the Buddha's words on loving kindness, and it comes from the Metta Sutta. And the reason I like this is because, these words are from 2,500 years ago about how to live our lives. And this is what the Metta Sutta is, like how do we practice loving kindness in our daily life, and the Buddha tells us exactly how to do that. So this is, metta. And again, the Buddha tells us how to do this. And so I would like to read this to you. All right. And it goes, this is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing, in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. It's like a breath of fresh air every time I read this. And, I don't know if I told you this last week. Maybe Travis can help me. Did I talk about a study that said mindfulness practice results in narcissism?
I don't think you did.
Okay. So, spoiler. And this is really easy too, because, I follow a lot of the medical communities, and some people in the medical community are just super, just only science-based, meaning they actually kind of frown on mindfulness and any kind of spirituality whatsoever. So I'll just put it like that. Science-based is good. But referenced to one study that said mindfulness practice leads to an increase in narcissism. Isn't that something? And, I thought about it for a while because that was really interesting. And I didn't read the whole study. I read part of the study because it's long. And sometimes in the study, they use terminology that I don't quite understand. So if you're really science-minded, like N equals this and T equals this, and like, oh, I don't exactly understand what that is. But if you could help me, that would be great. And so, it wasn't a huge increase in narcissism, but it was, a noticeable increase in narcissism. And again, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about what I did talk about last week, about how when you become, kind of educated in your whatever school of Buddhism that you gravitate to, whether it's Mahayana Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, Pure Land, or Zen, or Nichiren, or anything else, that you become very kind of sectarian, and you just start looking down on some of the other schools, and I thought about that as well, and I thought, well, this study actually proves something that in Buddhism that we would expect. It's not the gotcha of spirituality as narcissism that maybe some people would take away from that. And so this is actually what we would expect, right? When you feel that, your suffering is being relieved somewhat, it's such a relief sometimes that you become very kind of like addicted to like all the new things that you've learned, and, become attached to that without actually having the understanding of, hey, there's a bigger picture here, and that there's no such thing as Buddhism as a monolith, like this one Buddhism thing that we've talked about before. Like, again, it's not Catholicism, where there's like one pope and he's the guy, even though they have plenty of cardinals who don't like the pope and speak out against him, but still, he's still the guy. And that, again, this is behavior that we would expect. And this is okay. This is normal. This is like a normal progression of spirituality, of any spiritual practice, and certainly of Buddhist practice. And this is why it's so important to have a bigger view, right? And, many times a teacher is just that bigger view that you need, a really skilled teacher who has, studied some other forms of Buddhism or has a bigger view of of Buddhism worldwide. And so they can guide this student back to some humility. And a lot of times this kind of, guiding back to humility comes naturally. And, it came naturally, more naturally to me after a period of time. Because my teacher at the time, was very super Theravada and had, views that I didn't hold then and certainly don't hold now. So I thought that was really interesting, because when you first start and you first learn, this new spiritual practice and you try it and you like it and it works or it seems to work for you, you can become, kind of chest puffed out and all kind of haughty about it. And it's not any kind of terrible thing that they would find like some extra narcissism in these people who were just taught basic mindfulness. And this is like very secular mindfulness, kind of like McMindfulness, it's kind of what I call it, McMindfulness, because in McMindfulness, there's really no guru, there's no teacher, there's just these practices, right? There's no, you should expect this and this should happen, and there's not lots of questions that you can ask a lot of times. So anyway, I thought that was really interesting. So keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing great, guys. All right. Travis, did anyone else say hello besides Johnny? Is Johnny the only one who's there?
There's a few other people.
Okay.
So Jeremy said hi, Alex.
Hi, Jeremy.
Jennifer said hi, Alex. Good to see you.
Hi, Jennifer.
Jesse said good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Jesse.
Marisa said good evening.
Marisa, thank you for all your lovely pictures on Facebook. I stalk you on there. Thank you.
Eric and Marcel said hi, Alex.
Hello, Eric. Hello, Marcel.
And then Johnny had also mentioned that they saw that study as well.
Nice.
And Eric had shared, he thinks he's the one that posted that one and recalled that mindfulness wasn't the only culprit. It was also magical healing and spirituality.
So I saw this on Twitter. So if you posted something, Eric, I'd like to look at that too. But this is on Twitter. It may be actually the same study. I don't know, but or it could be a different one. But it's interesting. All right. All right, you guys, let's go do this. It's our meditation on loving kindness it's the last one before Christmas. Just allow your eyes to close. Making sure you have that position that's nice and comfortable for you, nice and sustainable. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even picture yourself sitting underneath the Bodhi tree, or you can choose your own tree of enlightenment. You can choose the eucalyptus tree of enlightenment. You can choose the oak tree of enlightenment, the maple tree of enlightenment, the ficus of enlightenment. It doesn't matter. Following your breath all the way in and all the way out. Developing this attitude of no judgment. No stress, no strain. Just for the next couple of minutes, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. And so to begin our practice of loving kindness, we're going to call to mind a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love or great kindness. Someone who's really easy to have these wonderful feelings for. You just think of this person and you smile and your heart gets bigger and warmer. And your only instruction here is just to radiate loving kindness to them in however you understand that word, radiate. Understanding, may all beings be at ease. Thinking while you radiate, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be free from danger. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. All of that you can consider when you radiate your loving kindness to this person or these people. So for the next few moments, we'll do this practice for our benefactor. And now we can still keep that connection with our benefactor going, but we can switch the direction of the radiation, the radiating of the loving kindness, not the radiation, the radiating of the loving kindness. And we can imagine our benefactor radiating loving kindness to us, doing this practice for us. They've cared and loved us. That's why they're our benefactor. So it should be relatively simple and easy to receive these warm wishes, this goodwill, this unconditional friendliness of loving kindness from our benefactor. And if you want, you can even put your hand over your heart to kind of aid in that transition of loving kindness from your benefactor to yourself. So we'll do this for the next few moments, receiving loving kindness from our benefactor. And now we can adjust again and start to do this practice for ourselves. At first, just calling to mind our own wish to be happy, our own wish to be safe, free from danger, free from illness, and just to be at peace and live at ease in this world. You can kind of radiate loving kindness to yourself, just imagining your heart getting bigger and warmer. Feel that radiation, that radiating coming from within. And just filling your entire heart, making it expand and grow and get warmer. So we'll just do this for the next few moments. Now, finally, we can examine the limitless quality of the heart by doing this practice of loving kindness, is radiating loving kindness to all beings in all directions, wherever they might be. The heart has the capacity to do this. The heart can include all beings without exception. And we'll do this to end our meditation. Just open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next 60 seconds out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs. If you have any questions, now's the good time to put it into the chat box and we'll talk about it. Okay. So literally 3 seconds after I rang the bell to start meditation, I thought to myself, Eric, didn't you send me that study before? Didn't you send me something? I think he said he sent me something, right? Yeah. And then I was kind of remembering it because I didn't remember it right off the hand, and then I remembered it. So I don't think I really erase messages, so like from Facebook Messenger. So I'll go back and take a look at that. But yeah, I was actually going to stop the meditation and say, "Wait, Eric, tell me." But no, I can't do that. All right. So Travis, anything from our audience?
Yes. Johnny asked, my neighbor was super loud just now and it was hard to concentrate. Any tips on that?
Yeah, oh my gosh. We get that a lot here too. I don't know if you heard, but there was like a fire truck or an ambulance here, just making a lot of noise. And we're right by the street. We're right by Normal Street, and kind of where Normal Street in Washington meet. And so the hospital's right there. So we get that all the time. We get the ambulances and fire trucks and police cars and police helicopters. In the summer when these windows here are open that face Tyler Street, sometimes we hear lots of different noises and things like that, and it reminds me of Shantideva. And Shantideva was this great 8th century Buddhist saint. He has a wonderful story, and he has this chapter on patience in this. It's a book now, but in his sutra, and he always says, start with the little things, and things like noises, in the big scheme of things, are little things, right? And they seem at first to be quite annoying because, hey, I'm trying to meditate and be quiet, and the Buddha often went out deep into the forest so he wouldn't be disturbed, so he would just hear the forest noises, and the forest noises are quite natural, right? But like right now, you could hear like the police or ambulance or whatever that is, and a good way to do that at first is just notice with no judgment or evaluation. So what you would do is, you hear it now, right? Hopefully you hear it now. You would just say, hearing. And that's it. You would just say hearing, which means you're just noting that it's there. And there's not, oh my God, I wish it wasn't there, because that's suffering, right? There's no, I got to get through this, and because that's just more suffering, right? So you don't want to create more suffering for yourself, but you want to note it. You want to note it because what that noting does is it kind of takes the sting out of the suffering. It takes the because a lot of suffering is like trying not to getting what you don't want, right? Like now you still hear it, and I hear it all the time. But now that you brought up this question, it's not why. Thank you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, noise. And what noise can do, and what a lot of these things can do, is they can kind of wake you up a little bit, right? It can kind of, sometimes we get lost in thought and we kind of hear a noise, and it can actually kind of bring us back until you can say, hearing, and be kind of grateful for the hearing because it brought you back to the present, right? It brought you back to this kind of, your practice of loving kindness. So notice, don't attach, don't push it away, don't, or anything like that. Just notice, come back to the breath. Don't get too, riled up about it, but just notice. And that's it. It's a good question. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny, is this your first time here, or you've been here before?
They've been here before.
You've been here before? Oh, Travis knows. Awesome.
Eric had mentioned that I had posted it on Facebook, not specifically sent it to you.
Oh, okay.
And he also said that was a good session for him. Thanks, Alex.
Good. I'm glad. And it's the thing where others disagree with me, but that's okay. Having a teacher is important, and it's not always possible to have a teacher, but I think having a teacher is really important because you need somebody to say, hey, I had this kind of, let me go back a little bit. The Buddha doesn't place a lot of emphasis on individual experiences. And so, because he knows that these things happen, he knows that sometimes you're in meditation and you could be a really advanced meditator and just have a horribly upsetting even, kind of meditation and unconcentrated meditation, or sometimes we call it a bad meditation. I don't necessarily like to call it that, but you can call it that, a bad meditation, something where you're really super unfocused no matter how calm you think you are going into the meditation, no matter how happy you think you are going into the meditation. It's just one of those things that it's just not happening. It's just not happening that time. I mean, you sit through it anyway because that's the practice, but it just doesn't happen. And likewise, when you have these, wonderful moments of concentration and, even revelation sometimes, these wonderfully transcendent seeming types of spiritual experiences in meditation, this individual experience in meditation, the Buddha doesn't place any emphasis on that at all. None of that, all of that is really beside the point. And I think that so many people place their, they always want to know, in meditation, I experience this. What does this mean? Sometimes it doesn't mean anything. Mostly it doesn't mean anything. And that you shouldn't place a whole lot of emphasis on it, that you should just do the practice. And don't put a lot of emphasis on, individual experiences. And it's hard to do because, you want to sit in meditation, you want to have this wonderful thing, but, that's not always the case. But I'm glad, Eric, that you had a good meditation. It's like you should be happy you had a good meditation. Of course you should. It's fine. So, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I know this could be a difficult time for some people. And we don't have a class on Friday, do we?
No, and there's not a class tomorrow night either.
Oh, you're not doing it? Okay. There's not a class tomorrow night either. But, the great thing about us doing these videos is that they're all on the internet. They're all on our YouTube channel, the Dharma Bhoma Temple YouTube channel, which is what you're looking at right now. And so if you ever feel like you need a meditation and you want to meditate with somebody, just play any one of the, there must be hundreds by now. Hundreds of videos of me, Travis, Jeff, guests doing these meditations online. And I think that's one of the benefits of our classes going online, because when we did these classes, the only online class or simultaneous online class we had, I think, was Saturday. Jeff always filmed his, right? Like on Saturdays? Yeah. But I didn't on Wednesdays, and Travis didn't. No one else did. Like I didn't want to. It's like, and that was, one of the things when COVID started in March, was that they were filming these classes. I'm like, what? You're going to put me on film? Like for everybody to see? Fuck. No. And I had one of those like instant reactions, like, no, I don't want that. You can, Jeff, because that's fine for you, but not for me. And then I did it once and I did it twice, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's fine. And then I eventually watched myself and like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And I don't watch like the whole class. If I ever do watch it, I think I've only watched it like one time more than like maybe 5 minutes, or one time for 5 minutes, and then, once for 30 seconds. So I don't even know what I say half the time. I just forget about it. When I leave here in about like 10 minutes or 5 and 7 minutes, I'm not going to remember anything of what I said, because people have come up to me, remember, Alex, when you said that blah, blah, blah? No, I don't remember that, But anyway, so, if you're having a difficult time, again, there's all these wonderful YouTube classes that we have. There's so many Dharma talks that you can listen to on all these wonderful sites, on dharmatalks.org, on Audio Dharma, on Dharma Seed. Those are a couple of different places for like video and audio. Mostly, I think it's mostly audio. There is the Buddhist Society of Western Australia. So Ajahn Brahm, he is an English fellow who actually now lives in Australia, in Western Australia, in Perth, or just south of Perth, Australia. And his talks are like an hour long, sometimes longer. And he has lots of them up there. And there's other different teachers from his monastery there. And he's funny and he's cool and he is, kind of Westerner. So he gets us, he gets, how we think and things that we're going through. So he's really a really good resource to listen to. And there's so many things, but whatever you do, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope that it is happy and healthy and safe for you. And, it's just, this is the time of year where, loving kindness is so important. Even if it wasn't, of course, this would be a wonderful time of year to have some loving kindness, just because of, all the illness that is going on, all the sickness, Again, we have a 9/11 every day. It's more than 9/11 every day now. And, it's getting worse, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And so let's look out for each other. And I think that's it. Travis, do we have anything else?
Eric shared that I feel like the classes at DBT promote humility. There's emphasis on kindness and compassion for others and acknowledging that we're no better than anyone else.
Yeah, and thanks, Eric, for saying that. And I think that I think That's what I like about it too. Because if you listen to Jeff, if you listen to Travis, and I hope that I say this too, I'm not better than anybody. I'm not better than you. I'm not better. I might know some more Buddhist things. I might have some more experience in some areas, but I'm just on this path with you. And Jeff feels the same way. Travis feels the same way. We all have our issues. The Dharma Pump Temple, we like to foster that. And, we emphasize that none of us are like the capital T teacher. I mean, I call myself a Buddhist teacher because that's how I'm viewed, and that's fine. But I'm no Jack Cornfield. I'm no Ajahn Tan Jeff or Ajahn Brahm or any of the other wonderful Ajahns out there. I'm not close to any of them, But I am grateful that I just get to share this practice with you, and I mean, we're all really grateful that we get to share practice with you. And talking about this study about how mindfulness can lead to an increase in narcissism. Hoping that if you ever feel that way, that's okay. You're not bad or doing anything wrong, in that you can have some sort of humility and have this understanding of, oh yeah, this okay, I understand what's happening here, and I think I'm gonna kind of take 20% off this, and just kind of come down to have a little bit more humble kind of attitude about your practice, and just be grateful that you feel better. Just be grateful that you have this practice, and you'll do fine. All right, you guys, I love you all. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays, and let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that you are. Thank you for coming. Again, see you guys later. See you next week. Bye.